Welcome to another exciting edition of we're going to analyze a video for Swim Easy Speed. My name's Tim Floyd. I am a longtime swim coach and sometime triathlon coach. Today we're going to be analyzing the video for an athlete that I've been coaching for quite a while, actually. She came to me, she'd been doing a bunch of, she's really likes to do ultra marathon running, but she had gotten into also doing Ironman triathlons. And she was having a really tough time completing the swim, or at least under the swim cutoff. I think she had made 3 or 4 attempts and was never able to make the 2:20 cutoff. And I think the first year that I worked with her, we got her where she made the cutoff. I think it was 2:19:59 is where she came in at. And so she was just under the wire, but it was the first time she had ever made it. And the next year we got down to about 2:10. And then it started to climb back up. And so I started to ask her what she was doing. And what we found out was that she was racing a lot and doing a lot of actually ultra marathons and doing a lot of races and a lot of traveling. And you can actually, I did an interview with her on the Coffee, Beer, Coaching, and Dogs podcast, and I'll put a link to that in the kind of description of this video, where you guys can check out how much racing she was actually doing and how much that was impacting her swimming. And look, this is not the first time that I've seen an athlete either overtrain or overrace, and the first thing it impacts is the swim. And it becomes really difficult for an athlete to make the gains that they need in the swim when they're trying to concurrently make big gains in the bike and the run, or they're just racing a lot. And I've seen it more often with pro triathletes that they race way too much, but it does happen with age groupers. More than often than not, it's age groupers, it's work and life, and then too much training and not enough recovery that catches up with them. So we're just going to jump right in on this video and take a look. Excuse me. So here she is, and the first thing you can see is that there's a lot of movement going on. The biggest thing with this athlete is that she has a tough time, really, especially when she starts getting tired, getting higher on the water. So you'll see in the underwater how low her hips are in the water, and then that impacts really her ability to grab the water and pull. So you can see there's a lot of turning, a lot of movement, kind of a little bit too much kind of over rotation. And we'll kind of go down here and take a look. So if we kind of slow this down, so you can see right there on that extension where the elbow really just drops. So again, she's pressing down on the water, pressing down, and that's effectively just pressing her chest up. She doesn't really start pulling herself forward till right about there. And you can see that the hips are already starting to drop. And then the left comes in. She has a really tough time kind of grabbing the water here. Again, just pressing down, and doesn't really start pulling forward till right about there. She's gotten a lot better at getting those hips and shoulders to kind of rotate together. So that's been an improvement over the years. And then here was kind of the first drill. We did it with the Aquavolo paddles and then a core link buoy, which is from Aquavolo also. And the Aquavolo paddles, it's a mid-palm paddle, so it'll effectively just kind of roll that. It encourages a high elbow catch sooner. And then the core link it's just a traditional pull buoy. It's hollow in the center. You've got to squeeze your legs together. And what that squeezing does is forces you to engage the core in the way that you want to do it for swimming. So we're forcing that core engagement plus trying to kind of get that hand to roll over a little bit more into a high elbow catch sooner. So we'll kind of take a look here. And you can see kind of even with the buoy, her hips kind of come up a little bit more. And so we'll keep on going. And then we got the underwater. And you can see that, while she's still dropping that elbow, particularly on the right side, the left is getting a little bit better. But you can see right here, we've got that kind of straight like that. And we definitely don't, want that. So then we keep on going forward. The left is getting a little bit better. So then the second drill we did, so this is kind of a very old school swimming drill. It's what donuts are, not the tasty breakfast treat that swim coaches consume by large quantities, but they are the innards of the pull buoy that help the pull buoy float. So that little floating kind of donut looking thing. And what you do is, this is just kind of basically a modified fist drill where those donuts are buoyant and you put them in your hand and then you swim as if you're swimming. You try to hold them really kind of gently, try to get that forearm on the water. And effectively what happens is you press down against that buoyancy during the swim. And when you take them away, your hand will kind of typically go into that position a lot quicker, a lot easier. So again, it's another one of these kind of constraints that forces you to do something that your brain otherwise or body wouldn't otherwise do. And then the fins, again, are just giving a little bit more speed, keeping you higher on the water, so it's easier to get into that high elbow catch position, and then also engaging the core. So here we go on this one. So you can see she's struggling a little bit putting it all together because we've taken away even more that feel for the water at the front of the stroke. And you can see it's starting to come back. We're having a little bit of trouble there with the hips. And then on the last video, after we've kind of, because we typically run through each of these a bunch of times. So you can see here, particularly kind of with the left, where she's definitely getting a little bit better on the water. So we're getting into, it's certainly not perfect yet, but we're in that kind of catch position right there. You can see that when she starts to pull, that, those hips are starting to surge kind of closer to the water, particularly on the left side compared to the right. The right still has a little bit more work. But that's kind of the direction that we're trying to go to with this athlete and what we're trying to do. So at the end of the day, anytime you're trying to change the stroke, especially as you get older, these are long-standing movement patterns that you've been making over and over again in practice. So you're going to need an incredible amount of focus and attention and awareness to what you're doing to make those changes. So they don't come easily, and they don't, they don't happen overnight. And, as long as we can kind of continue to make these little gains, that's what we're looking to do. So I hope this helps. And as always, if anyone has any questions, please comment below. Also, if you're liking this, you think a friend could benefit from it, share it. So that would be my big request for today. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next video.